Give us the clap. Oh, God, that was so bad. I missed my hand. Okay, good enough. Just full on went like that. It's because I was looking at myself in the thing to see, oh, can I time it? And then I was like, nope. Yo, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sir Brant and watching innocent people get killed occasionally. Yep. I think that's a good name for this game. It's episode 11, so if you haven't seen the first 10 episodes, go back and watch them, or don't. I mean, really, I feel like this is a series that you can kind of just pick up from anywhere, and you kind of just figure out, oh, this is about Sir Brant, and he's just growing up. He's just being a cool kid and growing up. What did we do last time? We helped our friend, I guess.
What was her name? It's Claire.
Sophia.
Yeah,
totally different than Claire.
I felt like it was with a C. I have no idea why. Maybe I'm just thinking of Resident Evil.
You might just be thinking of Resident Evil. When are you not thinking of Resident Evil now that, them
when I'm playing RuneScape.
Big vampire titties will be yours pretty soon?
Oh yeah, it's like a week and a bit.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Yeah.
I gotta pre-order that. I forgot to do that. I should do that today.
You should 100% that. Do it. Do it, man. Do it! Church, +1. I mean, that's good. I guess.
Old faith has gone up, and our discontent has gone down.
Yeah, so wait.
I mean, order's gone down.
Oh, our order in church. Okay, yeah. So
We have old faith and discontent. We don't believe in the system.
We don't. So if anything, we're kind of like that last guy that just got murdered, because I think that's what he was saying, he was like, oh, the gods don't do anything for us, and blah, 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 it's a shitty system, and then he literally got his throat slit. Yeah.
Is this still my turn?
Yeah. I believe it is. We haven't made a choice since the last episode, so I'm going to say, Brent, why don't you take us on a little stroll?
All right. Tomorrow, you are 16. According to the Imperial law, you will be a full adult. Your time at the Sir Tibur's school has ended. You have studied enough to apply for the Imperial College and learn the judge's trade there. You are to travel to Eterna tomorrow. Your friend Tomas will go there with you to try his luck in the Imperial City. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Remember, son. Wait. Gotta remember. Remember, son. There is only one goal for you. You must become a student at the Imperial College. Your teachers dragged you through all those books for a reason. You have the knowledge and fervor to be the ennobled by the mantle as I was, and as my late father was before me. And then, who knows, maybe one day you will be the one to write the name Brante in the blue book to ensure that your children's children will be noble by birth. The mother speaks to you carefully. There is worry in her eyes.
But Robert, there may be another path for our son. Stefan, your firstborn, was born a noble. He will surely earn the title for the entire Brant family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him, the path of the priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword.
They have been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of the nobleman and her husband, who are the same person. Apparently? Maybe? You smile. I'm not clear on that. You smile at them both, trying to placate them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs.
Just don't become Snoot like Stefan and you'll do just fine. I don't remember her voice ever, so...
Yeah, Mother chides Gloria for that. You wink at your sister. Weird.
You're putting moves on your sister right there. Oi. Hey, sis.
Nathan has been downcast all evening. He barely touches dinner. When everyone gets up from the table, he suddenly rushes over to embrace you.
Please don't go, Brent. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm gonna do without you.
I didn't know Monami was our little little brother.
He's just super sad, so he's even higher pitched.
Oh, I love it.
You tussle his hair in response. There is no way you can stay now. You say, what? There is no way you can stay now, you say. That's not...
That's a weird sentence. Yeah. They've done that a lot, where they just haven't put quotation marks in weird places, so it's kind of like, as a narrator, you're just reading it, but it's like, why didn't they just have... I don't know.
But when you come home, and you will come home, you'll tell him all the stories and bring him a special present from Eterna, or bring him to one that's mine. That's his own. This is it. All your lessons have been learned. All the things that you have packed, that have been packed for the road. All your things have been packed for the road. God damn it. You will leave. I thought there was more to that sentence in a line, but never mind. You will leave the family home tomorrow. Tonight is your last night at home before your departure. You walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room where Mother used to read you fairy tales. The library where Gloria used to spend all her time. Father's study, which you entered only on special occasions. The backyard where you taught Nathan to build towers one summer. Just one time he did something and he's like, kind of remembered that.
You literally don't have a relationship with him except for that one time.
You don't remember anything else you did with him that was more important than building it? Never. Jeez.
Yeah.
The whole place feels so familiar, so dear to you. It feels like home. You lived here for 16 years. Will you ever return? Is it... But he did say that he would return. I guess he doesn't know if he would be let to return.
In this case, I think this is him thinking it, whereas the other one was the narrator saying that he will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It is getting late. Everyone is already in their rooms, but you hesitate. Father, Mother, Gloria, Nathan. It will be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours at home with?
I vote to have a fifth option here that says spend the time with cranking one out. I mean that should be an option. You're a 15-year-old boy. What else are you gonna do? Okay, well, we only have two options. We can spend the time with Father, because we have, like, our father actually loves us, amazingly enough.
Yeah.
Can't do it with Mother, because Mother is kind of impartial to us. Gloria, just, I guess, impartial to us. And Nathan, I mean, who's this character again? I'm just kidding. So, my vote, I would say, would be spend the time with Father.
Yeah, because it's unlocked, but it might as well.
Yeah. Well, we haven't always gone with the unlocked choice is the thing. But we do get nobility +2 if we do that way. Whereas if we spend time with Nathan, we get willpower. But willpower, I feel like, is easier to get.
Yeah.
Is the thing than certain things like nobility. So I think I would prefer to go with the Father. What would you do, dude?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah? All right, we're locking it in. Let's diggity do it. You find Father in his study reading a book. He has been like this for as long as you can remember, always at his massive desk, surrounded by books and papers and letters, reading or writing. You enter the study. Father looks up from his book and gives you an inquisitive glance. You want to spend the night with him before you leave. I don't think his wife would be too happy. But yeah, happy I meant to say, not happy. Maybe he can tell you some stories about Eterna and his own studies, or give you some fatherly advice. Father smirks at that as though he is plotting something.
Have a seat, son.
He reaches into a drawer and produces a decanter filled with rich golden liquid.
Sound like he hit a cup with another cup.
I was gonna say, that was actually really good sound effect timing. Also, rich golden liquid? Come on, why are you keeping a bottle of your piss down there? Jeez Louise.
Barley whiskey, nobleman's drink. I think it would be good for you to try it.
It's another way for him to say, drink my piss, son. Father pulls out 2 glasses and pours a little of the liquid into each of them. You take your glass and bring it to your mouth. The whiskey stings your lips and palate. Father clearly savors the drink. Father tells you a long story about his studies at the Imperial College. He had to study among the sons of the richest nobles from all corners of the land. He was but a commoner back then, and he had his fair share of hardships. When you ask him about living in the capital, he says it was difficult, dangerous, and full of temptation. I guess I should have let you read that since it's in quotation marks.
You will have your share of time in... Wait. You will have your share of time in high society as well. I hope the company of nobles won't lead you astray, son. You didn't go on to a boarding school like your elder brother, but I believe good education and good family still stand for something. Now, what else can I tell you before you leave?
Father recalls the balls held in the capital when he was a youth. He even stands up from the desk and shows you a couple of moves. They're dancing. Yeah. Oh man, our dancing father? Hell yeah.
Four fingers shuffle. There you go.
The 4-finger shuffle? Is that stealing?
Just he's showing different moves in the balls.
Oh.
See, we calls
the balls. Okay.
4-finger
right.
shuffle.
I get ya.
I wish I could have made that better joke than that, but...
Their dancing was incredibly modest. All bows and sidesteps, no touching between the dance partners. But then again, he chuckles, those were the days when a fair lady could steal your heart with a single glance. You nod, if anything, you know that feeling by now. After he mentions dancing, he starts speaking of something he has never mentioned to you before, Stefan's late mother and his first wife, Amalia Alborn. You listen to his every word, surprised by this show of trust.
Oh, Amalia Alborn was the noble bird of prey at Anasot, and the ballrooms were a hunting ground. I don't know why, never mind. Everyone thought they could tame her. Your grandfather just saw her once, and then he was off to a Baron Alborn to negotiate the marriage. I was impressed by her, and I was so proud of myself, and yet I expected Amalia to be reborn after childbirth, but it did not happen. And when I recall it now, so many years, I see that the gods arranged it that way. Otherwise, I would have never started a family with your mother. Oh, how much I had to suffer for marrying Lydia. But she alone is the true heart of our family. So is he taking credit, or is his ex-wife death, like, supposed to have happened in order to have these kids?
Yeah, so essentially the way he's like wording it is that like Stefan was born. Yeah. So Stefan was born, and then she died during childbirth, but then he was like, oh no, it's okay, she'll like, be reborn. But then she wasn't, and then he was like, oh man, that sucks. Yes, it's what the gods want. And then it led him to, like, it just happened to work out for him that he ended up starting a family and raising all these people and all that stuff. And now he's like, oh man, like that's what the gods had in store for me, and man, those gods are awesome for letting me have a life after my wife died or something. Yeah. I think my impression of him is very good. He's just very chill and very like, yeah, man, that's what I want in life.
Yeah.
The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip. Before he leaves for his bedroom, Father embraces you tightly.
I'm so proud you're an adult now, son. You are capable of achieving so much. Incomparable. Always remember that.
We're 15 years old. We're not an adult. We're 15.
What at 15 have you accomplished?
I don't know, like cranking out one like at least once a day. Probably. You get into bed, your head spinning slightly. This midnight talk with Father, was it about your future or his past? Regardless, it will remain in your memory for years to come. Brent, what were you doing when you were 15 years old?
Probably the same thing. No, Star Ocean as well. Playing Star Ocean.
Oh, nice. Cranking one out to Star Ocean? Hell yeah. That's exactly what you do.
Wait, what else was I doing? Watching movies.
Yeah. I used to go to the movie theater all the time when I was, like, in high school.
Every week I went to the theaters, like once or twice a week, and I'd watch just a new movie, whatever movie.
Yeah, it was the thing to do. It was great. That's awesome.
And I think that was around the time I was like X versus Sever. Was in with Antonio Banderas, and I just remember that being not a very good movie, but it was good because it was just something to do, really,
right?
And it was out of the house.
Oh, there you go.
I do remember that.
Nice. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against the cobblestones count the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there, in the nearby yards, at your school. And on the winding streets of Anazote, there's a period there when it should be a comma. God, guys, come on. Jeez Louise, I thought this game was just updated to correct all the grammatical mistakes. I'm just kidding. People who are watching this, I like this game. It's fun. It's good. You clashed with the greater world around you and survived. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past. You witnessed first-hand events that will be remembered by history for all time.
Wait.
I was gonna say that's a weird sentence.
You felt a tingle of emotion for the first time.
Well.
So the 2 times he died, there was no emotion. The time where he got like, there's so much more time where you could have had. I guess they're not phrasing it right in the writing. I'm guessing.
Yeah. One, it's hard because this isn't even like a translation.
No.
Or anything. Like this is legit just the writing. Also, can we just say this sentence is a little bit off? You witnessed firsthand events that will be remembered by history for all time. I don't like this. By history for all time.
Yeah.
I like, oh man, Brent, I think by hanging out with you so much and doing all these like visual novels, you've just made me into so much more of like a picky grammar person. Like, man.
It's because like it's trying to convey like a specific thing, so having it be specific, so you got to read the exact how it's coming across. And if it seems like they wanted to say something else, but they said it this way, which makes it screwy to how they how the story's gonna go. So
yeah, and then you kind of have to like, you know, like they'll phrase it in a certain way, and then by reading a little bit further, you're like, oh, wait a minute, they meant to kind of say it this way instead.
Yeah. So it feels like you're just making the story up on your own, rather than you're just like putting together a story yourself, rather than trying to read what's being given to you.
Yeah, like it's hard to read the words at face value when you kind of have to extrapolate the meaning a couple times, and I think that's kind of due to like the English that they're using, because they're trying to do a mix of like, you know, maybe let's say nowadays English mixed with like Shakespearean English, but then it kind of, but there's not enough of it to make it like a norm, right? Like a lot of this is like, you know, written in like a, I don't know, like a normal, like nowadays kind of tense, right? But then you've got some parts of it that are written in, like ye old like Shakespearean or whatever, like it, and then there's times where it just doesn't flow together, so you kind of have to like pick it apart, I guess.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying is that if there is grammar mistakes in this, they are letting you pick it apart by by purposely writing it that way. They're allowing you to pick it apart and be like, oh, I don't know if I like that or not.
Yeah.
Anyways, you saw death, lesser death followed by rebirth, and the true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace lit by the flickering fire of the lamp, the Archduke's cavalry trampling those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age. And yet you live on. You have a friend who has been by your side all these years. Tomas taught you many things. How to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. And now Tomas is walking to the same carriage as you are with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Now, Brent, I don't remember when he taught us how to take a hit of a bong. Did I skip out on the whole, like, the marijuana story of this? Like, how to take a hit? Come on, man. I didn't learn any of that. Jeez Louise. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? I don't know. Probably some more amazing grammar. Oh boy. You survived your first clash with the greater brother Brante. You felt tingle emotion for a time. You did all that stuff. Okay. Important life events that happened this chapter. Brent, we did a lot this chapter.
Yeah.
We met Tomas. We saved Sophia. We decided that we might want to oinga boinga later. Our school began. Grandfather, got TKO'd. Blood tide happened. We joined the blood tide of the Brant family, and
Nothing about Sophia.
No, well, they only had
After
the one
that.
thing about nothing about that. Yeah, I think this was technically supposed to be. Oh no, that's Meet a Girl. Unless that is Sophia. Maybe that's yeah, because they all happened before this. Oh no, this happens 2 years later. So maybe that is the Sophia thing. I don't know.
Huh.
I'm not 100% sure, but that's okay.
I'm going to say one thing. I don't like saying that, I don't think it's a good idea to tell somebody at like 15 or 16 that just because they hit 15 or 16 that they're an adult now. I don't think that's helpful because then they think, all right, I'm an adult now, so that means everything I know is exactly how it should be, and I should continue that knowledge, and that's how I should persist. Like, the thought of how things are. But maybe I'm thinking more like people think being adult means you know exactly what's going on. I think that's actually the most negative part, but telling somebody, especially a kid, that they're an adult and they have to live in the real world, that suddenly like, I don't know what I'm doing, so that means I'm not an adult, so I don't know or whatever. I don't know. It gives like a split thought on how to deal with it. Like I'm trying to think of like my situation where I turned 18 and they're like, all right, you're an adult now, and they're like, I'm freaking doing the exact same thing I've been doing the last 6 years, is playing video games and going to school. And I'm still in school for college now. Nothing's changed. Why am I now an adult? It's like... Yeah.
Okay, to go back to the point of being, like 15 or 16 and being called an adult, like... 15 and 16, that's like grade 10 and grade 11.
Yeah.
Right? I would not call those people adults.
No.
Like, whatsoever. Even when you're like out of high school, like that first year you're out of high school, you're 18, I guess, like I still would not call you an adult. Like, yeah. You're going to school, everything is new, like the world, you just got past like the 18-year tutorial of life, right? And the tutorial kind of sucked. It went on for way too long. There was a lot of confusing things in it that really don't help out with life.
Yeah, they don't even tell you all the mechanics either.
Yeah, right? I mean, I would have loved to at least have one cheat code just to get $1 million. That's it. Come on. Like just give me the maximum money cheat and I'll be okay for life. But I don't know. Like, I don't... I mean, it is a different time, I guess, and the way I originally thought of this, and then I kind of shot it down myself, was that, okay, maybe they're calling them an adult and, you know, trying to be like, oh, you're just getting into adulthood, like, this is, you know, you're becoming an adult at 16 years old. I was thinking that would have been more for, like, you know, let's say the death age, right, would have been a lot younger, right, back then.
Yeah.
So you know, people live nowadays to, you know, 80, 90, 100, things like that, 70, like, things like that, right? But back then, it's very possible, at least in this time, where people were dying off, you know, 50, 60, something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, let's get a speed up on their adult life, and, you know, we'll just tell them they're adults at 16 years old so they can get the most out of it, blah, blah, blah. But then you see characters like Gregor Brandt, who looks literally 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah.
And you know he's got to be older than... He's got to be, like, at least 70-something, I would say. Right? Like, he was an old boy, right?
I would say, like, the only difference between how they're depicting in this game, where, you know, they have a lot in life, so that means they already have a job or, you know, a specific place that they had to, like, aim for at a very early childhood. So that means everything they're being taught is to go for that specific thing. So they don't need to be taught multiple avenues to choose their own. They're already told where to go, so they know what to do. So in order to survive at 15 or 16 on this, after they leave the house, even at probably like 14 or 13, is literally because they've been learning it their entire life of exactly how they're supposed to do it. Their job, do specific jobs in order to survive on their own. And like there was the farmers, like all they would be taught would be farming, and they wouldn't be allowed to learn school. They would just have to be taught how to grow things, right? So they're limited in the knowledge, rather. That's what I'm thinking of in the past way of things. It's like, in order to learn other things, you actually have to go out of your way to do it, and you don't have the luxury of time to do that generally.
Yeah.
And nowadays, they teach you a bunch of things, but they don't teach you all the necessary things to survive. Like, I think a big one is taxes. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's been a while since you've been in high school, you know?
Yeah.
But I can tell you, honestly, nothing has changed. Like, they still don't really teach you taxes. They, at least from my high school, like, I think they brought up, in grade 12, we had like a planning class that happened once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they would go through, like, the teacher would go through a couple, you know, life things, because it's supposed to be planning for your future and stuff. So there's like one class on budgeting, I believe, right? And all they do is give you like a fictional scenario, and they're like, okay, budget for this. And then, but they don't, at least my teacher, like, I don't know, didn't really give much good advice in terms of like, oh, how should we actually budget? She was kind of just like throwing things up there and like assuming that we all knew what she was talking about. But I mean, that could have been on me, because I could have just been like, oh, I don't understand this. But I was also like, me having an anxiety disorder was kind of like, oh, I like raising my hand is literal hell.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't do it either.
Yeah, like that was not something I ever did. Hate when teachers call on me. But anyways, that's beside the point. So I never really asked for, you know, more knowledge about it. But at the same time, she should have kind of been assuming that, you know, we're grade 12. There's a lot of things in life that we don't know about. We never really did taxes or anything, or like how to do this or how to do that. Like, I would say most of it, like budgeting, we learned about diseases and stuff, or mental disorders that people have for like a class. There really wasn't a whole lot of like real life, you know, stuff to it.
I'm mostly curious is like how much of that is the teacher's fault versus how much of that is the government saying you can't
teach this because the parents who pay the taxes are so offended that they're learning stuff that isn't math or something like that. How much is actually tied into the thinking of repercussions rather than actually helping? And
well, I feel like that's more so nowadays for sure.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, if you thought if it was like that back then nowadays 100% it's escalated like hundreds of percent. Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, I mean, there's like I definitely believe that the school system needs to be updated for sure, and not just updated like. Not updated in the ways of teaching, updated in the sense of the material that is being taught. Now, I can't say for sure, but I mean, if things were very, very similar for you and me, and we have a 9-year gap between us, right? I'm going to assume that things have probably not changed in the, 8 years that I have been out of high school. I am assuming things have not really changed much. I mean, things have been updated for sure. Like, every school has a website. Every school has like a friggin' TikTok at this point, right? Or some Instagram or something like that. Those methods have been updated, but it's like, that's just for show. And that makes things easier. But the actual material itself, like, that should be adjusted and taught accordingly, is most likely still the same as it was. And I kind of agree where it's a lot of it's just going to be, parents being like, oh, I don't want my kids to learn that. Like, that's, like, it's not math or science. Like, I pay them to learn stuff I don't know. But it's like, what? Like, no? Like, teach me how to do taxes by myself. Then I don't have to pay someone like $100 to do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's brutal.
I don't like what I got from school was more, this is stuff you can do. If you're interested, you should pursue it more after school. Like, I was interested in like math, right? And computer stuff. So accounting was fine. They should have put, learning how to do taxes in accounting, which I don't remember ever doing any taxes in accounting, or any of the 3 years of accounting that I did, and 1 year in college. It's like none of it. So you have to like take a specific course for it, I guess. Stupid.
You have to take, so basically I took accounting as well, just for like, I took it for 2 semesters and I hated it both times. But yeah, you're right. They don't really go into taxes all that much, right?
Yeah.
If you take statistics, that is where they go into taxes, because the statistics goes into like, you do a lot of problems with like mortgages and taxes and like
amortization. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, amortization and is amortization, I forgot, is that the American name or the Canadian name for it?
I don't know. I just recognize it. And
I think it's the Canadian. I think it's the Canadian name.
That was in college, by the way, that I took it. I kind of economics and stuff like that.
Oh god, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Oh yeah, God, kill me now, dude.
I fell asleep in that class so many times.
But it sucks because if you fall asleep in the class, then you just get way more behind.
Yeah, I know.
It sucks.
It was. That's why it was only 1 year, and it's like I actually have to work. I can't not.
I managed to pass both those classes, but barely, just barely. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just boring to sit there and not understand what's going on, even though I have all the material to understand it in front of me. It's just not presented in a way that it was interesting. I don't know. It just didn't seem like I could apply it to my life in any way.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it anyways, like it's taught through textbooks and it's taught through, I don't know, just like I swear to God, like the people who do like the lectures on it are like, what's the most boring way I can teach this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, I mean, it's hard when the material itself is like super dry unless you're really, really interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that goes for most things, but especially, at least for me, because I'm not really not much of a numbers person. Like, yeah, taking any of the business classes that had a lot to do with numbers and graphs and things like that, I was like, oh my God, just check me out. Like, whatever, man. I don't even care.
I think the problem with me was that it wasn't at an individual level. It was a very grand scheme of how it works for everybody. It's like, all right, if there's just this many people it affects, then why should I have... What would I do to affect any of it, even if it's just a tiny bit? And if you're saying that it doesn't, then why do I care about it? If it doesn't, if I can't affect it, then why does it matter if I need to know
100%.
So it was just a lot of it was like, it was not a clear situation to where why I should need to learn it. There was no reason for me to understand it if they were not going to make it important to me.
Yeah.
Or, say why it is important to me.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, dude. I feel like we just like did a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, for everyone who stuck around to listen to us talk for like 10 minutes. I was thinking like this was a good time to stop it anyways, but I was like, shoot, we still have like 5 minutes to try to continue on, and then we just kept talking. So yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do the things you do for everyone else, but do it for us. Do it for chapter 3, man. We're starting chapter 3 pretty soon.
Going into our youth.
Well, no, we should be going into adulthood, apparently.
Yeah.
What are you saying, youth? No, we're an adult at this point. Jeez Louise.
Well, we got peacetime and the revolt to go through.
Yeah, we got a couple more. I don't know if we're gonna get to this point, man. I've heard this long ass part right here is kind of the make or break situation. So I hope we get to the revolt, but I don't know, man.
Well,
I have to continue it to save it. Oh no, god damn it! There's a whole cutscene in here. Damn it, Brent. We have to include this in now. Oh.
There, I would discover my role.
You just cut it out and put it in the next one.
Yeah, I mean, it was only like 5 seconds. It doesn't matter. No one's really gonna care. Or maybe everyone will care and everyone's gonna hate us for skipping it.
We'll just call it the after credit scene.
Yeah, the after credit scene, right? Yeah, oh god, now I have to get through this? Oh, jeez. Come on, just let me save. There we go. Oh my god, I can't even save in this menu right here. Okay, the driver flickers the reins. The carriage slowly waits for start moving home. Stick out through the windows about your family knows we're running, blah, 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 blah. You just leave your home behind. There's a turn. They come here to the capital. You did stuff and you go places and oh god, what life is gonna wait. You pass the old walls of Venice and somewhere there was the old fortress. Oh my god, that's crazy. Blah blah blah. You're looking at your life and you're like, wow, I'm so happy I'm gonna be leaving this shitstorm. Oh yeah.
So he just turned. He literally turned 16. He's like, all right, now I gotta leave instead of like. Wait, he turned 16, then he has to leave, but he's leaving with somebody else who was older than that, so why didn't he leave earlier? Or if he's younger than that, why is he leaving late?
I think they're supposed to be the same age, aren't they?
Are they born on the same day?
No, not literally the same day, but like the same year. Like,
so like, it's a yearly thing on the same day of the year that they leave.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know.
I'm curious.
What is this new personal qualities? What? Oh my god, we've got diplomacy, nobility. They both lead into diplomacy now. So they added together. So a perception and a nobility have now become diplomacy.
We're so diplomatic.
Dude, we're hella diplomatic. We're like unknown.
We're still near the bottom.
Jeez Louise. All right, what's our next one? Perception and ingenuity. We've become naive. Oh my god.
Not yet, though.
Oh, dude. We are kind of...
Wow, we're gonna get points, like, we're gonna get probably, like, quicker points. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work. Con artist.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we're just going to become a thief at the end of this. Like, oh god, our theology, we already knew that we were going to not be very, very, you know, spiritual at all. Valor? Dude, we're weak AF in battle. God damn, we suck.
Nobility is part of this edition.
It is, yeah, it's determination
Twice.
and nobility
Two
to
different
become valor. Alright. Determination, ingenuity, scheming. Wow, we really suck at all of this. But I guess this is a point in time where we're supposed to figure out which one we want to do more.
Yeah. We got 2 more pages.
Yeah.
Elegance.
Tongue-tied. Wow, we can't even talk. That's amazing. Continue. Cool. Great. Fantastic. Now can I save this game? God damn. Quit to main menu. Automatically save. Jeez Louise.